Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the ASUS ROG DreamLeague Season 3. Here with myself, ODPixel, and Draskell. And we're ready to get ourselves to the first game of the day. It's 6.84. So, Draskell, I believe you brought me these, didn't you?
Well,
Wow.
Me, Webhouse, and Scriff, I guess.
Okay. So, indeed, with these mangoes, whilst I tuck in... Let's get ourselves into the draft, boys. Right.
I can't believe you actually were able to bite through. It's actually quite difficult to do that.
That's quite tasty as well. Anyway, Vega Squadron. Team Reno, Tinkerino. Shane was talking about the Mac Beastmaster first pick for the side, and they followed it up with the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, the Beastmaster's not really much of a surprise. The hero was already good, and they buffed him. It's marginal buffs, but Beastmaster already had very high base damage to begin with, so if you're going to be coming to lane against most heroes and off lane, you get like a 1v1 or maybe a 2v1. Probably find some nice farm, and CSing into the tower becomes a bit easier. Some nice facial expressions that you're making because
that
you're
one's a
trying
little
to eat
bit
the
right.
mango.
It's a little bit right, that one.
All right. So, Vega Squadron, it looks like a push strategy to me. Like when you get DK, it looks very old style. Not necessarily like a complete death ball yet, but they definitely have the potential to take some tier 1s early and potentially try to get Roche too. Okay.
And, well, with the bans coming out so far, pretty much 6.84 bans. Sorry, 6.83 bans, in fact. Nothing really too much out the order, apart from, as I say that, they ban out the Enchantress, Draskell.
Well, if you think about the first 4 bans, like Shadow Fiend Queen, obviously you would ban those against Tinker anyway because Quakefoot plays phenomenal Queen, very good Shadow Fiend. And rubber banding is less significant, so snowballing heroes are actually better already in 6.84 than they were previously because when you make the mistake, it's not as costly. And you want to be very far ahead on your Shadow Fiend and your Queen, so the playstyle is actually better for those types of heroes. So I do think that the I guess 6.83 bans, if you want to call them that, are warranted, especially if you're looking at Vegas bans. I think that theirs are quite strong, and Team Tinker are just trying to take away from the Death March. So they banned the Chen already. In the first 2, they take out the Enchantress, and now the DK and the Beastmaster are going to have to get some alternative methods of getting their 5-man together. So maybe they go like Enigma or something, just like YOLO 5-man.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the Enigma yesterday. It wasn't that effective yesterday. Or there was never any kind of a moment where it was way too on the Enigma, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it never felt really impactful, and I don't think there was ever kind of a massive duration and a black hole coming out.
But that was the first patch, or game of the patch, so maybe he didn't know 100% if Enchantress Impetus went through BKB, because I feel like if he knew that, he would have just bought a Blink instead. Like, he had Mech already, and he went Soul Ring, so pretty standard. And then instead of going BKB, maybe he just went Blink. That would have given him the opportunity to get some nice black holes off, but I think in the end, it's like... It didn't really matter much because they won. So, I mean, whatever you're going to say about the game and the Enchantress and how good it was, they're not going to have to play against it this game.
No, indeed. The ban out on the Anti-Mage, and we were in fact talking about the Anti-Mage beforehand. I mean, a buff, nerf, or how do you kind of take into account the fact that obviously Quelling Blade was changed, so it now only takes into account base stats, but the fact that, of course, it now is a component of the Battle Fury, and overall it is a 60% damage increase on creeps rather than before, which was, was it 23 or something?
It was 32 for Quelling Blade.
32 for Quelling Blade.
Yeah, but it was 32 of all of your damage.
Yes, but now it's just the base stats, but it is 60 damage instead.
Yeah. So what happens is the Battle Fury is like 10 times better.
Yeah.
There's a couple of reasons why. Even though you lose 10 damage, the 60% of your base damage as the game goes on becomes more significant for pushing out lanes. You keep the Quelling Blade effect, which sounds minor, but anybody who plays AM will tell you that being able to Quelling Blade trees in the woods is very nice for just being able to path around.
Absolutely.
You can use it to juke. You can buy the full Perseverance in the side shop, so the only thing that you have to buy is the Claymore. So, or his broadsword. I can't remember which one. I always get the swords mixed up. But you can buy everything else at the side shop now. And not having to use the courier to buy Perseverance makes your laning phase stronger. You can buy treads, Perseverance there, and one of the components. You never have to use the courier unless you need bonus regen. So yeah, I would say AM has been significantly buffed, even if the creep gold is a little bit nerfed.
Okay, we're going to see a Leshrac ban. Now that's a hero that's been a point of conversation in terms of the new items obviously benefiting the Lesh a lot, in terms of white builds and being able to get that spell lifesteal. So you've got to remember, a lot of people were saying it's not that big of a kind of a buff, but into the sense that the range of some of Lesh's spells aren't that great, the radius. But I mean, Leshrac, do you feel that is a hero that we're going to see a little bit more in the picks and bans now we're into 6.84?
It is possible. A lot of the items seem very good on him, and plus, if you saw Vega's first 2 picks, you think, okay, they can definitely push. So getting rid of a Leshrac makes a lot of sense. They're just banning push heroes. Like, they've taken out Chen Enchantress and Lesh. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if they just blast ban Enigma, unless they feel like their lanes would be so weak that Team Tinker could just run over them, because they are Radiant. And we usually say Radiant is the team with the laning advantage, and they're able to snowball a bit easier off of that. But Vega going with the gyro. I'm guessing they have their 3 like primary lanes already selected, like DK mid or Beastmaster. I'm guessing DK though, because Beastmaster offlane is better than like Dragon Knight or gyro offlane. You could always put yourself in a situation where the DK could go safe lane, but I don't think DK is good anywhere else but mid. Maybe I'll be proven wrong this patch, but that means that Vega's lanes are very easy to guess. So Team Tinker can kind of make their draft to win their laning phase.
Now with this Earthshaker pick, looking like it's going to be our offlane Earthshaker from Sam.
Yeah, it's a good pick though, because double melee, like double core melee, so Beastmaster DK, Gyrocopter is not even that long a range, so it shouldn't be too hard to get some nice echoes later on into the game. They have a lot of damage that goes through BKB, like they have Witch Doctor already, and then you have Disable through BKB with Treant Protector, and Storm is very hard for Vega to kill unless they get a good Blink Initiation, and you already have 3 heroes who are great at being able to peel for you. So you can get Tree Armored, you can get a good cast, you can get a Fissure, so there's a lot of ways to make sure that Qualifier has a good game.
Okay, now with the 4th pick for the side of Vega. So yeah, indeed, as you were saying, we do expect these to be the 3 cores so far.
And
it is going to be
Enigma.
an Enigma.
It's like just looking at their draft, it's super obvious like what they want to do. They just want to push. And once they get mech up on Enigma, and they have Gyrocopter go for like maybe phase drums or something, maybe he goes quick BKB, they can just walk into towers with Dragon Form, Beastmaster Aura, with his Hawk Vision, and just boom, push towers all the time.
Okay, final ban now from the side from Team Tinker. You're talking about the fact that Vega looking for the early action, for the early pushing. They do still need that support in lane, and the Venge ban's going to come out, and obviously with the Aura as well, someone else that can offer to the push that Vega might have been looking to take.
Yeah, Venge would have been great if Vega could get their hands on that, because it gives the 36% damage is obviously good, but it's not as if Vega's team necessarily builds a ton of stat items. It's more just like having the swap and the stun against a Storm Spirit is another disable that he doesn't really want to deal with anyway. They might end up going something like Lion just to have some really nice guaranteed disable, because they still have the support that they desperately need, right? And it has to be a support who can play hard support.
Actually, a Lion would be...
Lion's really good against the Storm.
Absolutely.
They could also go Silencer and just play like a position 5 Silencer and just use Global as a way of initiating or counter-initiating fights. Because if you roar and you Global, it's like a free kill, more or less. So we'll see what they do.
Silencer and Lion, I think you're bang on there. The two is going to be top of contention. And finally,
ho, ho.
A little bit of a nod there to 6.83. Vega, they ban out the Sniper as the final ban. Medusa is going to be picked up. So it's almost, well, it is going to be the mid lane Storm and the safe lane Dusa. And Medusa, I mean, what's the kind of thinking behind this pick now, finally, for the side of Team Tinker?
The unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Like Vega Squadron is the unstoppable force of push, and Team Tinker is the immovable object with Shaker, Dusa, Witch Doctor, Treant. Like they have a ridiculous amount of like, not necessarily deep push, but just defense capabilities. Like a lot of stuns. You have Medusa Stone Gaze now too with Overgrowth. The Storm is going to be the one in the late game who initiates pretty much all the fights. I don't think Team Tinker are planning on playing this game very fast paced at all. I think they're totally content on just sitting back and letting Black just accumulate an insane amount of gold. And then in the ultra late game, maybe you try to go for the win. But there is potential for Vega to snowball this. Like if Mag gets a really good timing on his Necro Book, that Deuce is gonna melt. And Vega are gonna go with the Skywrath. So it's gonna be some hero that offers them a good lane presence. I figured Silencer might be good because he functions the same in lane as Silencer, or as Skywrath. He's very good at zoning. But with just a Skywrath, you're not really gonna be able to gank any lanes on your own. So maybe they're just valuing the damage that it gives you and having a way to break through living armor, because the Skywrath ulti is all instance damage, so it deals it very, very fast over time, and that is very good for breaking through armor, and also it's good against the Storm. So they get kind of a bursty hero who counters pretty much the only playmaker on Team Tinker, which is Qualifier, at least in terms of what heroes they have.
Okay, so well, we'll see how we get ourselves in this game. In terms of kind of innovation regarding 6.84, it's certainly Vega taking advantage of the changes the most so far, but looks of it. Team Tinker, this is, I mean, it's going to be a lineup that they're very familiar with.
I mean, it's not very hard to run either. That's the nice thing about what Team Tinker are doing. You can play defensive as long as you want because you have Dusa, but you need to, at some point, address the fact that there's probably going to be a DK getting some decent farm and Gyro as well. I think in the later the game goes, Team Tinker might feel a bit more comfortable. If the Treant ever gets to Aghanims and you get your Shaker Blink up, it's so hard to go high ground against what they have. That's what I'm really worried about for Vega. Like, they might be able to get all the outer 2 towers, but can they break tier 3s? That's usually the test. Now, rubber banding, again, isn't as bad as it was, so I think that they can go high ground a few times, maybe even botch a couple of pushes, assuming they're ahead. But I don't know. We will find out. Hopefully, everyone from Vega's computer is working, because right now we have a quick pause. But I always get concerned when I see a pause at the start of a game and
That's
the player.
never good.
He hasn't even selected his hero, so I'm like, it looks like it's Mag. So hopefully everything is fine.
Indeed, and it would be interesting to see how Mag plays. Obviously, Shane said he was doing a bit of research. Mag, the only person, at least on their own player profile, to have played a game on 6.84, and it was on the Beastmaster. So he's obviously been practicing.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a hero that we're aware that Mag has played before, and I believe he did play it here at DreamLeague, didn't he, the other day?
Yeah, he played it yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, that seems so long ago. But
too many games of Dota.
Too many games
then and now.
It's just, my mind's a blur. But anyway, so Vega, they're going to be there for the early to mid-game aggression. Team Tinker, I mean, with a Witch Doctor, an Earthshaker, and a Trin, they're going to be able to stop the pushes fairly reliably, aren't they?
That's kind of the big reason why I think that Team Tinker are going to have an easier time in the late game. The tree offers you the unique potential of healing up your towers. So when the team starts pushing at tier 3, they need to kill the tower on the push, or it's going to be at full health again. That gives you a very different style of having to fight into it, and I think that's why they wanted to get the Enigma so badly, because they need a hero who can just eat through the living armor and try to get real damage on the tower before they back. And if they do have to back, then there's like, you potentially have to fight into a full health tower every time you push. That is a nightmare for any composition that wants to just try to end the game. But between the Corrosive Breath from Dragon Knight's ulti, you got conversions, you should be able to deal some really good damage to outer 2 towers. That was a pretty awesome effigy, by the way.
Oh, there's quite a few nice ones there. The old MLG no scope and Esnavwane. I mean, whatever language that is, I'm not too experienced in. Draskell, you're the multilingual expert here on the panel.
I only speak one language.
What, American?
Well, I guess it's called English, but
yeah, it's called English. You better get that right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
What nobody calls it. Nobody says you speak British. Because that's pretty much what it's like to say you speak American.
It's true.
All right, here we go. Mag's back.
We're in.
We're in.
Let's
game.
Go. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is, well, for at least me and you, Draskell, the second game we'll be casting here in 6.84. Team Tinker yet again, after we did see them take out Hellraisers yesterday, 2-0. They're going to be up against Team Vega. And Vega, they've been looking really strong recently. We've been talking about the fact that Mag and Solo are recent additions. I believe they've been in the lineup for around a week or so now. But things have been looking very good for Vega. So I kind of feel it's going to be hard to tell who's going to come out of this. And if anything, just the fact that we're on a different patch as well means it's hard to tell how the teams are going to react to the changes.
Well, the nice thing about this game is even though it's a new patch, both lineups have a clear directive. Team Tinker can get ahead in the game. If Qualifier has a nice start, he can look for picks. But if Vega get a good start, it's just going to be constant pressure. Like Enigma, Beastmaster, and the Dragon Knight together, whenever the Dragon form is off cooldown, they're going to be looking to deal damage, like everywhere. They want to push the tier 1s minimum. Getting a mech up early on Enigma, or maybe even going for the Medallion and to the new Solar Crest, you're going to be able to buff your DK to an insane degree. It's 10 armor and 30% evasion, and the item only costs 3k. For an Enigma, that's nothing. So after mech, you can go for something to just beef up your frontline hero, have him hit the tower, and then make the other team commit on him. And with the kind of damage output that Team Tinker have during the early game, it just doesn't really seem that likely that you're going to be able to take him down. And it looks like Team Tinker are asking for a rehost, so we are going to remake the game. I don't know what actually happened.
3 versus
yeah,
0.
we're playing on 0 versus 1.
It's Gyro take all at the moment.
Yeah.
There we go. But anyway, I mean, that is something that actually we've got to take into account. Tinker will be playing with a little bit of a ping issue, I guess, because they're in America.
Well, no. The first game is US East.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, but that also meant that Vega had first pick. So next game will be either played, I think, probably on Lux, is my assumption.
Lux is the standard.
I don't know if it's the standard anymore, but it used to be.
No.
Maybe they changed it. But I guess I can just look when the next lobby is hosted. But right now it's US East. So
we're off to US East. All right. So anyway. So have you got any expectations? Let's do new items. Is there anyone in this game that could go for the new items? We were watching Way2 on the Enigma yesterday. He went for the mech, but of course, Arcane's not something that Enigma always wants to go for. And we didn't see the Guardian Greaves come out. I mean, is there any kind of situation that an Enigma will build the Guardian Greaves, or do you feel it's not the item for him?
They're an insanely good item. There's no doubt about that.
I mean, the recipe's quite expensive.
The problem with Enigma buying Arcane Boots is that he doesn't need them. No. You're only ever buying Arcane Boots for your team. And even if it removes the mana cost and the effect of being below 25% health gives you a ton of extra armor and regen, like that of in itself is amazing. And plus you can dispel yourself with the boots and they don't cost mana. So you have mech, which is 225, and then you go from having that mana cost to a 0 mana cost and only a 45-second cooldown on Guardian Greaves that also dispel and give you more armor. They're insane. They're completely ridiculous. For a pushing strategy, I think they would almost be core, but the Enigma has to farm that gold, and I think it's like mech plus arcane and a recipe, so it's around 5,000 gold that you have to farm, which is pretty steep. And for a mech and a soul ring is only like 3,100 gold. So it's quite a big timing thing, and I think that's why you're going to not see too many Enigmas do it unless they're confident in being able to hold that timing until a bit later. And against Team Tinker, you don't want to wait to push. Like, you want to try to apply pressure as soon as you possibly can. The Shaker gets Blink, it's going to be harder to push. The Trinket gets Aghanims, it's going to be really hard to push. The Dusa gets Farm, you might just lose because you can never go high ground. So that's the thing, is that you always have to be keeping in mind if you're Vega here. We need to make sure that we get all the objectives that we can until the Shaker, the Dusa, and the tree start becoming a problem. And that's not even including Storm. Like, if Quakefa for some reason manages to get a couple of nice kills, maybe he gets an early Bloodstone, could be looking at a very tough game for Vega.
I mean, in terms of the Storm pick, obviously picked up very early on in the draft, and I mean, Vega, they have got a lot of control for the Storm Spirit. You know, they've got the Ancient Seal, they've got the Dragon Knight with his Dragon Tail, and Beastmaster with the Raw. I'm pretty sure as soon as Mag gets that Blink, as you were saying earlier, in the fights, you're going to be looking for that Storm, and out of the heroes, they're probably trying to catch him out with the Prime and Raw. Yeah,
I mean, he's definitely a priority target, but it's tough. I mean, if you go in and you Blink Roar, say you summon a Boar or a Hawk as soon as you do, because it's very common, or you pop Necrobook, and the Witch Doctor is just standing behind him and throws a cask.
Yeah,
it's not great, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of ways for Team Tinker to counterplay what Vega have. That's why I'm so worried. Vega are going to have to play really, really solid to withhold, like, giving away too much to Team Tinker or giving them too much time. So I think the emphasis is on Vega to perform here.
Okay, well, let's see if they do so indeed. We're into the game. Is anyone buying mangoes? Oh, it doesn't look like it's the case. I mean, are mangoes just very specific to certain heroes, or
they're really good on strength heroes?
Strength heroes.
Yeah, anybody with a really poor base mana pool who has like good base armor. So like Night Stalker, for example, really high base armor, crappy mana pool. PA is also the same. So I think you're probably not going to be seeing too many mangoes on a lot of heroes, or anybody who just uses a lot of mana at low level to try to like stay in lane. Like Bristleback would probably be a great mango carrier, just because you could buy like a stout, one mango, some tangos. God, it sounds clowny saying that. And then, you know, some branches, but we'll see.
30 seconds.
We'll see indeed, and the game is underway. Team Tinker versus the side of Team Vega here. This is game one of the best of three at the ASUS ROG DreamLeague. On the side of Team Tinker, we're going to be seeing Bulba on his signature off-lane Earthshaker. It will be Pylar on the Witch Doctor, Black on the position one Medusa, Way 2 on his support Trian, and finally Quakefa on the mid lane Storm Spirit. Now, Modi Pixel, I'm here with Draskell, and Draskell, give us the lowdown what's going on the side of Team Vega.
All right, first off, we're going to have Mag here. He's going to be handling the Beastmaster. Going to have Solo playing Enigma. Going to have no one playing on the Dragon Knight, who also secures his bounty rune. Going to have Peshe Bashu playing on the Gyrocopter, and that leaves Seema handling the Skywrath.
Okay, so in terms of lanes, pretty much what we were expecting straight from the off from the draft. Apart from Black, okay, it is going to be the mid lane Medusa.
It's way better this way.
Yeah, to go up against the DK, not too much of a hard lane for the Medusa.
Nah, DK is like a creep in lane. He doesn't really do anything. And if you're playing Medusa mid in this lineup and you have Mana Shield early, it's very hard to gank. Your effective HP is much higher than what a Storm would have. So it's a more durable hero. The Storm gets potentially the easier lane, and the Storm also gets more farm, which I think is in the early stage. If you want Quakefa to try to create space for you, he needs an easy time in the beginning. You don't want him ever being pressured, because if that Skywrath rotates mid, it's super easy to kill Quakefa if you get like a concussive blast, silent stun. So it's very dangerous.
Okay, and I mean, as you were saying, with the Storm getting the space to farm up safely, I mean, up against the Beastmaster, Mag, he's not going to be able to find that much out of this lane against the tri-lane.
Definitely not. I mean, with the usage of the boars, maybe he can get a couple of CS, but only being level 1 boars, they hit for 15 damage, so it's going to be rather difficult to do that. But I think Quakefa will have a very solid early game, which is great for them, because if he can become that kind of look for picks, stop the 5-man push of Vega early on by just killing a couple of heroes and stopping them from grouping up together, that gives so much relief to Black during the mid game to just be like, yo, I'm going to push out a lane, I'm going to go back to woods and farm.
Okay, and with the fact that as well, this is one of those games where we've seen Team Tinker, they haven't picked a jungler themselves to respond to the Enigma, which we've seen a lot of the DreamLeague games that we've been casting. If a jungler's picked up, the other side will go, okay, you want to be greedy, we'll be greedy. So with that in mind, do you kind of feel that the Treant and the Witch Doctor may look for an early smoke up and rotation into the enemy jungle to catch out the Enigma, or do you kind of wait until the Enigma starts being a bit more active and then you just look to counter-initiate?
They definitely can gank. It's not a matter of if they can or not, as Bulba secures this top rune with the fissure, even blocks Seema out from being able to walk high ground for a little bit. But yeah, the thing about Team Tinker is they have a pretty clear game plan. Let's try to go late game. We get our Deuces some serious farm. We have the inevitability factor of being able to just not ever lose our tier 3s because of Treant and Medusa, but middle lane, this
he needs to be careful in that one. He'll take a leech seed to the backside. Black coming in with the right clicks, the paralyzing cask. It will bounce. Will it bounce back again? Yes, it will. The punches coming through. Dragon Knight getting low. Bulba's there as well for the Alp, and Black finds the kill there with the Mystic Snake. First blood to your mid lane Medusa. Black couldn't be more happy with that.
Yeah, it's the playstyle difference too of having a double support versus an AFK jungle, is you have the potential to first blood a lot easier. And I wouldn't say that was necessarily easy for 3 heroes because DK is really tanky, 7 armor and 650 health, but getting that kill and giving it to Black, every little thing that they can get in the early game is going to matter a ton. So if they can make more ganks happen, which it seems like they want to, it'll be fantastic for them.
Yeah, they're looking for round 2 here, the Treant and the Witch Doctor. Pylite dying way too.
Oh, they broke it, but did he see?
I did not see indeed, and they're going to continue to just charge straight past the tower. No one, he's already at half health, and with the Maledict and the Fissure coming down on him as well, that's going to be another kill there. Pylite, I will claim it this time. But Team Tinker, with the action, with the rotations,
Way2
really punishing this Dragon Knight. Way2 does die, and he put the living armor on someone else, didn't he?
Yeah.
He gave it to, gave it to Sam?
Yeah, he put it on somebody else for some reason. His pathing was really bizarre there. I don't actually know how he even let himself die, but in the end, it doesn't really matter too much. His bottom lane, Quake's taking a little bit of harass there from Mag. But again, it's all difference in early game playstyle with a dual support versus an Enigma jungle. Like, the Enigma can be there if he knows that the gank is coming. But obviously, if he's not rotating early, then he has no idea that it's going to be another smoke just on his mid immediately. So Black is having a very easy time in middle lane. He's one of the highest CS. He got first blood. He did not get the second kill, though, which is not really too bad considering the kill goal is a lot less than it used to be after the first one. But this is great for Tinker. Even losing the tree, I would say, is fine, because no one was even in range to get experience from his death.
No, it's just the goal. And I mean, that's something as well, looking at the lanes as a whole, 2 out of 3 lanes going very well for Tinker. The fact that Storm, he's having absolutely undisrupted farm. Slows Black, of course, on the Medusa. It is just on this top lane. The Gyrocopter is at the top of the CS board. And, of course, we've got to remember that the Enigma, he's having a great time in the jungle as well for the side of Vega.
Well, he better have a great time, because if he doesn't, his team is going to be really sad that they decided to pick a jungler. I don't know. I mean, the Enigma can turn it around, maybe drop like a solo black hole on the off lane to get a kill, and then push the tower. That's probably the play here. I think it's too risky to try to gank mid if you can never see where the supports are. If you have some good vision, then you might be able to justify ganking Black, but he's got a point into mana shield, and he's level 6. He's going to be so hard to take down already. So there's going to be quite a while before Vega they have enough in a tank to really start trying to push into tier 1s. They need their DK to be 6. Mag also needs to be level 6. And he needs a lot of items. I don't know, man. This is looking a little bit suspect in the beginning of the game for me.
I mean, you said with the draft that Vega are running, it's all about the early game and into the mid game. But yeah, if Team Tinker get this kind of start, Quaker continues to get free farm in this bottom lane, which he certainly is soaring, and commit to 1,500 gold in the bank. I mean, if you're looking for the kind of playstyle you said, trying to create space around the Medusa, is Quaker just going to go straight up for the old Oblivion stuff into Orchid this game, do you feel?
He could go Orchid, but he's bought Soul Ring early, so that kind of makes me believe that he'll go Bloodstone. Okay. Some players will buy the Soul Ring after the Orchid, or they'll buy it like after an Oblivion staff or something, and then just still buy Orchid because the extra mana that you gain is nice for farming. But a lot of the time, if you just buy a Soul Ring immediately, you're just going Bloodstone. And with their kind of team on Vega, the only way that you can really die is by getting bursted. So if you have enough health to live through a roar and like a couple of nukes, you probably just ball away and you're fine. And if you're still playing around the late game, you don't have to create space as much if your laning phase is going really well for you, which it is right now. So Vega are already the ones feeling a little bit pressured, even though the overall farm is kind of equal. And they're going to get more experience because they have a jungler. But they really need to emphasize their push as soon as Solo is able to.
Yeah, I mean, the Dragon Knight in the mid lane, in terms of net worth against the Medusa Black, he's not having a great time. at all. I mean, how does the Dragon Knight work? It's obviously a hero that we don't see a lot in 6.83. You're talking about the pushing play style. Is that more for what the Dragon Knight's for? They're not really going to be looking for rotations from the Dragon Knight to gank the other lanes and look for kills. It's purely the rest of the team coming up to join him by his side and look to pile on the progression in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think you want to kind of assist the DK as much as you can, but again, it's very, very hard to kill a Medusa. So in this case, he might even just transition himself to the safe lane instead.
Okay.
And try to kill the offlane tower first. Because I'll be honest, killing Black right now, probably not going to happen. Like mana shield, he's got ulti, he's level 8, he's CSing like an absolute monster in this mid lane. I don't really think it's worth it trying to just kill him because it takes too long. So the enemy team can react and they have tree armor. Like how are they going to kill him? The problem with DK is that when people actually stay in their lane, you have a static laning phase. Nobody moves around, like the mid laners at the very least. You never have that opportunity where your mid player leaves the lane that you're playing against so you can hit his tower. Like no one's ever gonna get that chance. So instead of it being some kind of roaming mid, like a queen, for example, who would leave and then go gank and then you kill his tower, that opportunity is just gone. So how does he function in this game? Like how does he find his tower kill? Well, he can go top, because that's the easiest tower to kill, plus the Enigma will be there, and also will spot out Sam.
Bulba. He's going to take a Malefice to the face. In comes the Black Hole onto the Ancient Seal, the Yucca, but everything coming down onto Sam. There's a lot of hate. The living armor keeps him alive for a little bit, but he will go down in the end as Pasha Ibashu finds the kill on the Gyrocopter. So, I mean, Earthshaker goes down. They do use the first Black Hole. It's not always the worst thing to use the Black Hole straight away for a single kill, but a lot was thrown down there onto Sam.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad of a death, I guess. That's the first time I think that he's dropped this game, and he's already level 5, so I wouldn't be too concerned. And they're still not really pushing out the wave that hard, so it's not as if they're going to get a tower or anything out of this. And I think if he plays it right, they might even be able to keep their tower alive unless the DK makes a transition. I think that's the only thing. I'm really wondering how the DK is going to impact the game at all. Like, where does he go to push? Because you pick DK to kill towers. You don't pick DK to just sit in AFK farm, especially against the Medusa.
Indeed, well, the AFK farm certainly is real for Black. He's got phase boots, Aquila complete. What's he got coming out in the couriers as well? What's he managed to grab himself? Blade of Alacrity here. So, I mean, yeah, I think it wasn't Black who was in the mid-juice the other day, but we saw the whole kind of Yasha just into the Skadi. Do you kind of feel that's the option here for Black as well?
Yeah, I think he wants to tank up. Yeah. Having the Yasha is nice for efficiency. Just the item is good agility, it's good attack speed, bonus movement speed, and then you go into Skadi directly, and then you stand in the front line and let your team peel for you. And top lane?
On top lane indeed, they're going to throw the cooldown and the Ancient Seal onto Wave 2 on this Truant. He will go down. There'll be a TPM from Pylite Die. He's going to try and give it some to the Gyro, do a Quakefer. He'll be able to pick off Seam of the Slayer here on the Scarif Mage. They do get a kill in return for the Storm Spirit as they bring down the Scarif. But 3 for 3 still on the board. Net worth-wise, it's still Quakefer on your Storm, Black on your Medusa very high up. Gyro is up there in between the two of them. But, I mean, is the Gyro going to be enough mid lane? Looking for a bit of action here onto Black, but Quakefer's coming in. I don't quite feel like going in on the DK at the moment. How many points has he got on Dragon's Blood in this lane? He has got the 2 points. So
very standard build.
Tanky.
Yeah, it's super standard DK. My concern is that the tower mid on Vega side has taken more damage than the tower on Team Tinker. And the problem is every time a tower takes damage, a tree is just going to heal it. So if you can't fully commit to a 5-man push and kill the tower, there's going to be too much time between the pushes to where you're not dealing damage.
Mag's a little bit far out. We've got Quakefer zip-zapping, zooping in onto Mag. The backup's there from Way 2 as well. It wasn't even needed in the end. Storm Spirit, it's getting to the point where, I mean, if Mag comes to that lane, he's pretty much dead.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about this game for Vega. It's very early on, so a lot of people watching are probably like, well, maybe they can come back. But the real issue isn't that Vega are really far behind. It's that they're not super far ahead with their lineup. Like, sure, you got a Gyro late game, but against Medusa and Storm, like, Gyro does not carry against those heroes, not even a little bit. And because the DK's start is so bad, like he's died twice already at 11 minutes, they need Solo to have some kind of gigantic impact. Like, he's going mech, which is standard for what the lineup is meant to do. But even still, I'm feeling really, really concerned for Vega. They're gonna have to make some big plays to bring this one back.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the real kind of telling point is going to be when Solo, as you were saying, gets the mech complete, turns up into the lanes, and is able to kind of turn this 4-man versus 5-man into a full 5-on-5 between the sides. Bottom lane, Dragon Knight's coming in smoked up. Mag does have the Primal Roar available. And we do see Way 2 here on his own, and he could be in a bit of trouble here. We'll get the living armor off before the Roar comes out. He's fairly tanky, but not tanky enough, as no one with the ultimate will burst him down there. And Beastmaster getting the final touch to bring Trian to his death. So 4 for 4 now on the board. Quick and cheeky pick off there in the bottom lane. Mid lane, Black and Pilotai applying the pressure here. And this tower with this wave may very well go down, and I don't think Vega are going to be in a position to defend this.
I mean, even in the case where they lose one of their supports, that they're intentionally trying to give level 6 because Pilotai already has this Death Ward available, like, they'll get some damage on this tower. I wonder if they're actually going to be allowed to kill it. I think Team Tinker would want to try to defend this. I think that giving away this tower maybe not be the play. Okay, they're backing now. There we go.
Yep, Qualifier comes in with a fortification as well, and the living armor will be able to, as you said, top that armor back up. If you're not able to commit in one push, you're going to have to start from square one. Top lane, Bobber looks for a Fisher. Won't catch Solo on the right side, though. But it does continue to hold them back, and as we were saying in the draft, this is exactly what Team Tinker needs to be doing, just stopping the aggressions and the pushes coming from the side of Vega and ensuring that Black is getting a lot of farm. And Black certainly is getting a lot of farm. 6.3k gold, 12.5 minutes in.
And look at Qualifia's last hits. Good God, 114 last hits at less than 13 minutes on a Storm. Now, he did get creep stacks, so support's obviously been helping him out, but that's terrifying to me that he almost has Orchid at 13 minutes in. Like, he's going to have so much kill potential on the map at such an early phase that Vega are going to have to start playing this very inefficient Bali-style Dota where you walk around with multiple heroes just so you're safe from the Storm. And if he's alone, unless Mag has Blink or you smoke in, it's very hard to catch him. So you need to try to find opportunities to go for kills, and Mag is gone for the Necro Book over the Blink, so he's not going to have his initiation skill. He's solely relying on the 5-man, and I think now finally Vega are realizing that they need to try to make it happen.
Okay, indeed, with the mech coming in from Solo on the top lane, buffing up the push here, they will be able to bring this tier 1 very, very low. The reaction from Team Tinker, they do have Earthshaker and Pilotai Witch Doctor about, but the tower will go down. Gyro is able to claim that. 9 Pashi Bashu's got himself the Helm of the Dominator on the Gyro, and now we'll follow it up with the Ashes. So he's going to be able to continue the pace of his farm. But, I mean, after the Ashes, do you really feel he needs to pick up a BKB this game if he wants to have any kind of impact against the side of Tinker?
BKB's a double-edged sword against a lineup with a Medusa and a tree, plus Death Ward. So there's like 3 abilities that pierce magic immunity that still deal a fair amount of damage. But yeah, I still think he needs BKB. Like, if you're going to be pushing in super hard, having BKB for the team fights around the towers is an amazing thing. You always want magic immunity to either run away or be able to commit and just hit people.
Ooh, Qualifier. He's going to get spotted out by Mag, who does have the Roar. Seema coming in with the Ancient Seal and the Mystic Flare. That is how you kill a Storm Spirit.
That's a big kill. And Qualifier was even off-map farming to try to avoid that happening. His lane pushed out, so he just backed. But I believe Vega actually smoked both of those heroes and then just walked up and got the free kill. So high-value target in Qualifier. It's going to be really nice. They might even be able to get Pilotai here if Solo wants to commit to him.
Oh, he is. Well, committing a bit of an understatement here as he throws down the whole black hole, but with the Voodoo Restoration and the Living Armor, Solo won't be able to find the kill. Overgrowth is thrown back, and now Pilotai gets his revenge with the Death Ward, says, look at it go, and will be able to bring down the Enigma. So, I mean, that's your black hole down, and nothing achieved.
Yeah, they didn't have any other hero to follow it up. I thought maybe that Vega would be looping around towards mid after they killed Qualifier, but Seema and Mag both went bottom. So they weren't really looking to try to continue the push. They were just looking to, or they were looking to push rather than looking to gank, I should say.
Okay, and there we go. Black heading to the side shot. We're probably going to sell the branch, pick up that ultimate up, and he is indeed. And as we were saying, we'll probably expect him to finish that off into a fully fledged Scardian, leave the Asher as a casual item in his inventory. Smoke up now from the side of Team Tinker. Qualifier, Bulba, Pilotai ready to go. Qualifier, now after his death, has picked up the Orchid in his inventory, and no one has Seema the Slayer. They could be in a bit of trouble here. Who are they going to jump on first? They've got this Dire Ward down, and they will see them, but they're right in the faces already. Ancient Seal, Mystic Flare, and Dragon Tail holding Qualifier in place. They brought down the Storm Spirit. The Paralyzing Cast bouncing between them, but, well, the Radiant, they don't want to fight here without the Storm, and with the fact that Black, he is elsewhere on the map. Very nice reaction there from Vega, and again, killing Qualifier with the old 1-2 combo.
That was actually very slow reaction from Qualifier. Like, he walked in. Orchid is an immediate cast time, right? And he waited like a full 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds before he used the Orchid on anyone, so that was very uncharacteristic. Maybe he must have not been expecting that at all, but Vega making some really nice moves here, starting to get some pressure going. And with the Dragon form up on the DK, I think this tower is going to be dropping.
Cask and Fisher coming out with the snake as well. Way too trying to wrap himself around, but Bashi will with the cooldown. Black will be able to walk himself out of it. The tower now under half health, and the push will remain and continue as they... Oh, the living armor keeps up, and then the overgrowth. And now the death ward from Pylite. It was going on to the direct now, but it wasn't doing any damage through the amount of army he has. It redirected towards Bashi. Fisher catches him out. Zip forward from Qualifier. They'll be able to find the gyro here, but it looks like the rest of the side of Vega will escape. They did lose the tier 1 as well, though.
Yeah, the tower goes down if you have like the Enigma with full conversions out, the dragon form. You're not going to be able to keep the tower alive, even with Treant armor. So it's really nice for Vega that they finally got some real pressure going on the board. The double gank on Qualifier is huge. Like keeping him away from his Bloodstone just that much longer, or even if he opts to go for BKB or Lincolns or something like that. Like the longer it takes for him to get to his next big item, the better off Vega are going to be. It makes their pushing potential a lot easier. And wait two, getting caught out a bit here. They even drop another sentry, but I don't know if they get him. Maybe they do.
Gonna try and TP out. Sentry gets dropped. Yes, they do. The final arcane bolt there from Seema the Slayer is able to find way 2 on the Treant.
Yeah, and Seema realized that he also dropped the ward before he TP'd, so he just dewards it immediately. That's nice.
Oh, absolute value there with that sentry, getting himself a kill and a ward top lane. Was a TP coming in, gets cancelled at the end of the day. They do pop the fortification. Looks like they won't be looking to defend this one, as Qualifier and Pylite will claim themselves a tower from the Dire side here.
Dire's top tower has
Well,
fallen.
everything considered, Vega still continuing their aggression here.
Smoke up, and they've found Black. There's your Primal Roar. Do they have the ultimate? Where's the Mystic Flare? Has he not got the mana to do so? He doesn't, but it looks like they don't need it anyway with the Necro units coming out. Black's in a lot of trouble. He will go down here, and again, that's another very nice pick off there for the side of Vega.
Yeah, the flare was on cooldown, unfortunately, so no mana, or, well, no cooldown for Seema to pop it, but some really nice picks. I mean, Vega are making all the right moves here. I'm really impressed that they managed to come back from their DK just dying twice in the mid lane. But I guess it doesn't really matter if the DK dies as long as he has level 6 and he starts getting some tankiness. And they will get Roshan here. The trade is probably going to be the tier 2 in the safe lane, unless Vega have the time to react, which they're TPing to base, so I guess they're just sacrificing the tower. And I think that's okay, because now Enigma has Blink, your Gyro has Aegis. That gives your push a lot more power than it usually has. So this is the time where Vega's lineup is going to start hitting its stride.
Tier 2, and it's going down very quickly, but no one's there with the TP. Qualifiers hanging about. Both the Dragon Knight and Gyro have reacted, and Qualifier will zip himself out, and looks like he'll get away. The Mystic Flare did come down, trying to anticipate where the end of his zip was, but it was just a little bit off the point.
Shaker Blink now picked up as well, and BKB, I think, on... Wait, who just got BKB? Yeah, okay.
Oh, it's a Dragon Knight.
On the Dragon Knight, yeah. I thought for a second that Gyro had actually finished his, and I was like, wow, that's actually pretty fast, considering he went for Yasha Dominator. But I guess, yeah. He's still a recipe away, so around 600-700 gold. I think Vega are feeling a lot more confident in their chances, being able to deal the damage that they need to before Black and Qualifier become just a little bit too strong for them. And Black is working his way towards Scotty, or what I can only imagine is Scotty, as he's got an Ultimate Orb and a Yasha in his inventory right now. The big test, though, still for Vega is going to be high ground. Like, I was a bit worried in the laning phase because the DK died twice. Didn't turn out to be that big of an influence of Vega's pushing power and their ability to just group up and be like, you have to do something about this. And even when they reacted and glyphed and tree armored the tower, they still ended up losing it.
Oh, they're all very grouped up here, and there is a Blink Dagger and an Echo Slam available. Bashi leading the way here. Paralyzing Cast will get thrown out as Black, clearing out the creep wave here with a split shot. Takes a Malefist to the face. Fisher comes down onto Bashi. Now your Dragon Tail onto Black. Cooldown and Mystic Flare coming onto Medusa with the Ancient Seal. Black's going to get blown up. Pylite does throw down the Death Ward, but Vega, they're just going to back up, walk it off. And, well, that was a very favorable engagement there for the side of Vega. They find the Medusa. They might even find the tier 2 as well, as the tier 2 falling low. Doesn't look like Team Tinker will be able to do anything to stop the push here. Fisher comes out, but it's not enough. And Vega, the draft is certainly working out at this point.
Well, it's like I said, the unstoppable force. They get all their heroes together. They get a double damage on their Dragon Knight. They pop ulti, and they are going to kill your buildings. Like, that is what their lineup is tailor-made to do. And it seems like Team Tinker just got caught out one too many times. We'll see if they can defend this high ground, though.
Well, zip in from the fountain there, bringing Bashi low. And the Ancient Steel, though, straight away onto Qualifier is going to stop him continuing this. And Bashi will be able to get himself out, and now does have the complete BKB on your Gyro as well for the next push.
Yeah, it's really nice. They didn't get the Aegis off of him, so if he can recover his health and they can group back up to push maybe the tier 2 bottom or tier 2 in the off lane, they got some free gold and map control that they can kind of claim when they make their way back over to Team Tinker's side. But again, it's been kind of sloppy from Team Tinker, you know? Like, they get caught by pretty much every smoke, I would say, was a successful gank, right? Like 100% of the time.
pretty much so far from the side of Vega.
Yeah, they caught Qualifier twice. They just caught out Black, but that wasn't with a smoke. But they killed him again also in the woods. So he's also died twice. It's not as if Vega are just letting them totally free farm Echo.
Echo Slam and Qualifier coming in as well to find the kill onto Mag on the Beastmaster. And well, quick and simple there as they'll look to get themselves back out as well. Solo isn't going to be able to kind of chase down Bulba, and Qualifier will escape to the north as well.
Yeah, you can look at Vega's vision. They're doing such a better job at warding right now than what Team Tinker have, and I think that's a lot of the reason why that the Dusa and the Storm had died in the first place. Like, they have had vision control for a very, very long time, so the supports of Vega definitely stepping it up here, as there's only one ward right now that gives vision on Tinker, and they haven't even had chance to get other wards up for quite a while, and I think that's maybe what Way 2 is looking to do right now. But Tier 2 in some trouble in bottom lane. I don't think you defend this. New Dragon form, fresh BKB on the Gyro, and the DK with an 8. Look at how fast towers die with Dragon Knight, man. It's been a long time since I've seen this hero, so it always amazes me that, like, when they were attacking the mid Tier 2, it was dying through backdoor protection.
Not bad at all. Dragon Tail as well from no one here in the mid lane as he catches out Qualifier. Do they have the follow-up? Oh, Solo gets in, but a little bit too late. Props the Midnight Pulse down to remove the trees that the Treant was hiding beneath under Nature's guise. And they do take down Way 2 here on the Treant.
Well, another maybe unnecessary death from Way 2, but I think he was just prioritizing Quakefa's life over his own. Because as soon as the stun goes off, he was just standing there to make sure no follow-up came.
Pylon died. Because Seema looking for a bit of a solo kill, but Bulba's there to back up his mate on the Witch Doctor through with the Fissure. Now looking to get that enchant totem proc, and Pylon die again with the BM Death Ward there to say, mate, get off.
Look at it go. Unfortunately, I think Seema might have looked at it go a little bit too much.
He did,
died.
And now he's dead.
Yeah. Well, I think the next big items, if we're looking at Team Tinker, are going to be the Aghanims and Witch Doctor.
Talking about Aghanims, look at the Enigma, my friend.
Yeah, he bought the point booster. Now, it could be a couple of things.
Okay.
I guess. Maybe he wants to buy Octarine Core for CDR.
Yes, I guess that's really nice with the black hole.
Because it works on items too. So,
yeah, and the Midnight Pulse late game, the heal that is going to return is going to be pretty hefty if you catch a few heroes in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of a clowny choice if he goes for that, but
okay.
It would be cool. Maybe he just goes for the standard Ags.
It would be very cool.
If he goes Aghanims, that still seems bizarre, because you would just want BKB against Blink Shaker. Like how do you black hole against that team without a BKB? With Shaker and Witch Doctor and Storm with Orchid? I'm wondering what he's going to actually do with his point booster, if it's just going to be casual. It could be casual.
It could be.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't be exciting. So
no, it wouldn't be exciting.
It wouldn't be. Come on, let's see what he's able to pull out here on the Enigma. I mean, I guess what, if you did get the BKB finished up anyway, what's there to go through it? They do have the Stone Gaze and the Overgrowth, I believe, only the two things that Team Tinker have to stop it. But, I mean, they are both spells that you still need to be very worried about.
Yeah, of course.
It's very easy to cancel the black hole with those.
Oh, in the jungle here. Gonna see a quick pick.
Oh, well, we're not. But that's because we're watching top lane, because Black, he's been getting gone down here by the Gyro. He puts the BKB to remove the Overgrowth. There is the backup of Pylite Die trying to keep the Medusa up. The Death Ward comes through. We'll find down Beastmaster, and it is a 1-for-1 here. Make that a 2-for-1 as the Gyro. 9 Pashy Bashu clears up both Pylite Die on the Witch Doctor and Black on the Medusa. Down bottom, it looks like it was just Enigma going down to the Storm Spirit in a little bit of a gank. And, well, maybe Team Tinker are going to lose more. No one coming in with the Dragon Tail. There's Seema the Slayer with the Mystic Flare, and also Sam getting blown up here in the top lane. 3 heroes down on the side of Team Tinker, and Vega, the momentum definitely feels like it's there for them at this point, 25 minutes in.
They've been fighting with no vision for so long. Like, Team Tinker can never see anything, and this ward is a super common ward that Vega have down that has just been sitting there forever, and it's the only reason why they were getting caught out in the first place. They just knew that no one was nearby. They were showing heroes in other lanes. They just saw the Enigma die. They knew full well what they were getting into. Just a really solid move coming out from Vega. There's so many things that they're doing right this game after having a pretty abysmal laning phase, I would say.
Qualifier now, he does have his Bloodstone finished on top of his Orchid 25 minutes in, so not too shabby timing for the lad there. And, well, Tier 2 on the top lane. It's going to get pressured down here by Gyro and no one, and Gyro now has got the Manta style on top of the BKB, so will also be able to remove the Overgrowth if he BKBs early in these team fights.
And the nice thing about Gyro right now is that there's no real BKB purchases on Team Tinker, so his damage output is still very high. And normally this is a stage where people start buying BKBs and your gyro impact falls off because he doesn't quite hit hard enough to be that physical damage carry. But since he still can get full effect out of his cooldown, full effect out of the rocket barrage that he has, he still deals a crap load of damage in team fights.
And it looks like for the time being, it is going to be a casual point booster for Enigma. He's got an Ogre Club in his stash at the moment.
Yeah.
So he's going to go back for the BKB in mid lane with the Roar and the cooldown and Mystic Flare as well. Black, I mean, look at the damage that's taken. He does get himself 4-star back over the Fissure, but the damage will continue as they chase it down. Bulba throws down the Echo Stand, but he does nothing. He goes down as well. It's a double kill for Gyro as he finds Medusa and Earthshaker. And I can't remember the last time Team Tinker had a favorable team fight, Draskell.
I can't remember the last time they actually had useful vision. Like, they never see anything. Like, with the Beastmaster in the book 3, oh, here we go.
Qualifier zipping in, there's a buyback from Blackie on the Medusa, but Qualifier just gets Ancient sealed up and walks through the Midnight Pulse. He'll go down as well. Parladai trying to do what he can with the Death Ward from the high ground, but they'll just back it off and wait for it to come down. There's going to be Qualifier zipping through, bringing them low, zips out. Nine Pashi Bashu's very low silence as well. There's a black hole onto free. The Overgrowth does cancel it, though. Leech Seed onto Nine Pashi Bashu. They brought down the Gyro. Now they're looking for no one here. Black's coming in, and he has got that Skadi trying to chase down the DK. Parladai on way 2. They're going for the Enigma. No one turns around the Dragon Tail. It won't be enough to keep him alive. He goes down solo on the black Enigma, on the black hole Enigma. That's the name of the hero that I'm trying to get. Paralyzing Cast comes through. Way 2. Parladai with the punches. Leech Seed to be thrown down, and solo. He gets trapped up by the creeps. He goes down as well. So Team Tinker with the buybacks there do manage to make something happen, but we've got to take into account how buybacks have changed and the fact that the gold gain, I mean, it's a what? It's a 2.5k swing. Had that been 6.83, that could have been a massive swing.
It would have been like probably
6,
2,000 or
7?
3,000 gold more.
Yeah.
No, not 6 or 7, but
No, 6, 7 more, but 6,000 in total maybe. So 3.5.
maybe
more.
like 4 or 5k.
4 or 5k more.
Yeah, because Black and Koikfa both were earning 60% less gold during the kills. And like when he killed the DK, he got like 200 gold. Like, that's so low in comparison to what we're used to seeing. But yeah, it's pretty painful to have to invest buybacks to base defense now. So in the end, Vega, they get pushed back. I don't think they're going to be too upset though, because the base is now exposed. Like, the tier 3 dropped. So even after having to defend with double buyback, they still didn't really keep their base 100% safe. With Treant, you want your tier 3 alive because it's very easy to heal that over and over again. And then it also forces Vega to have a more choked positioning when they're trying to push into high ground because the tower is in the way of the racks. So now they can just walk up and get a nice little concave going with their conversions and such and try to get some real damage going.
Now, way 2 on the Treant, you're talking about the vision for Team Tinker. He's managed to get a few wards out. There's a ward on the high ground of the Dire side and a ward just north of the Roshan pit, but hang on, Parladai. Rip in pepperonis indeed. So you're talking about the vision. Is this the kind of vision that Team Tinker are looking for at this stage?
It's nice to be able to see the enemy when they've already backed off. So I think that the base ward and the ward around Roche are going to be useful for now. But it's been a long time since Vega have actually occupied their own side of the map. So having those types of wards is really only good when you can force engagements and when you can stop the enemy team from constantly pushing you. Because all it's saying is, oh, they're not farming their woods or they're not by Roshan. But you already know that because you're dead. And you kept getting ganked like a lot this game. So Vega have had really nice vision with their Beastmaster. They're going to be getting Roche.
Ooh, Bulba and Qualifier are about. They do manage to burst down Seam of the Slayer here on the Scarif Mage, and Bulba, he'll just TP straight out of that. Qualifier heads into the trees. The Midnight Pulse is going to reveal him. He'll continue to zip, zap, and zoop back towards the Dire base. Will be able to TP out, but indeed, at the same time, Vega finish off Roshan, and 9 Pashi Bashu has the Aegis back under his belt again.
Well, Aegis is it's going to be really tough because I'm pretty sure there's not going to be buyback available for the next engagement. Still 4 minutes on Koikfa, 4 minutes on Black, or just under. That means that Vega pretty much only have to take one good team fight. And with how often Team Tinker have been getting picked off this game, I wouldn't even be surprised if somebody's dead before the push even starts. Like, it's actually crazy to me how easily Team Tinker have been getting picked apart by Vega. Like, just these solo kills with the Beastmaster and the Skywrath together. Like, that combo has single-handedly kept them in the game of how many important kills they've gotten between the two of them.
Indeed, that combo is something that Team Tinker may even think about trying to at least draft around or ban against in the second game here, this best of 3. I mean, Dragonite on the side of Vega, I think he's pretty much got the AC complete. He was just...
That's all he needs.
Yeah, he's got it, yeah. And Blink forward, Roar here onto Qualifier. The Rocket Barrage doing damage through the Living Armor. Will take the charges off. Qualifier tries to get himself up, but the Malphite's coming out in time, stopping him from being able to ball lightning out, and now they'll chase down Bulba. It's going to be another double kill here for 9 Pashi Bashu on the Gyrocopter, and that's just Storm Spray and Earthshaker down for this base defense with no buyback available.
So you remember when I said I wouldn't even be surprised if they had people dead before the push started? This could just be Rax here. I don't think the Dusa has enough damage to be able to even hit the gyro.
Yeah, I mean, Gyro just sits there. He's totally unfazed. Fortification will come out. Solo with the Malefice, trying to chase it down. Ancient Seal and Mystic Flare. In comes the Arcane Bolts as well. It will make Black go home, and he will come back in, but he's got no mana. He can't really fight. Firelight did throw down the Death Ward, but they just keep out of range, and then they return to the Rax. That's going to be a melee Rax down in the mid lane, and it looks like it'll almost certainly be the ranged ones going down as well. And Vega... It really, at the start, it didn't look like it was going to go how they planned, but now 31 minutes into the game, this is definitely their game to lose.
Yeah, their timing was a little bit later than I think that they wanted it to be. But as soon as Mag and the Skywrath started moving around, the game totally changed. Like these two, like Seema and Mag, definitely MVPs for me. Like no one had a really hard lane. He got ganked a lot. Like he got quad ganked. Like 4 heroes from Team Tinker came to his lane and killed him twice. So yeah, obviously he didn't have a great start, but on the back of some really nice rotations, nice vision, nice warding from Vega, they're able to get some key picks, start getting their snowball going. And again, this ain't 6.83, so when that double buyback came out from Tinker, they are not getting like a 4 or 5k gold swing, they got like 2. So the impact that in itself has had, maybe this is kind of an outdated style to play. At the very least, if you're not going to have the vision that you need to not get picked off. Because Team Tinker, let's be honest, they got picked everywhere. Every time we look around, somebody's dying.
And Gyro, he's now got the butterfly complete as well, so
yeah.
it's going to be so hard for Team Tinker to defend against. As you said, they do have fairly good high ground defense, but every time that occasion kind of occurs that they're going to need to be there for it, they've already lost 2 heroes in a little pick-off that Vega have managed to catch them out on. I mean, 19 to 14 in. If we have a look at the overall graphs at the moment, what kind of swing are we seeing in terms of network? Yes, a 12,000 lead here for the side of Vega. It is just 5k in terms of XP, but it's looking pretty scary here for the Radiant. Black now, he gets the living armor, but already half his mana pool just gone through the damage that was coming out from the Malefice and the Midnight Pulse. And 9Pashy just stands there, takes the tier 3, cooldown comes out, and that means that the side of Radiant, they've got to back up. They can't stand and defend their base. The Gyrocopter just continues to go down onto the Rax, and with the Necro units, they'll find it fairly quickly. That's the bottom melee Rax down. Make that the ranged Rax 2 to follow very quickly indeed. And Team Tinker, they just can't stop this.
Yeah, they can't do anything. The problem is the only echo target they really had, besides the DK, was the Gyro. And the Gyro has Aegis, so if you echo him and he comes alive and your Dusa is out of mana, because Black got harassed pretty heavily before they would have been able to go in the first place, you don't have your Stone Gaze, you don't have your Dusa damage, and heck, he even needs an MKB just to be able to kill the Gyro, and he is very, very far away. And if we're being honest, that was the first time that Team Tinker actually had a chance for a full 5 versus 5 engagement at 34 minutes in. That's the first time they ever had a full high ground defense ready, and they just watched their barracks die. That for that kind of team to sit there and not even contend the push, that just goes to show how far ahead that Vega actually are right now. Because that normally, I look at Team Tinker's team and I'm going, oh my God, Stone Gaze Storm, Blink Shaker, Witch Doctor with Aghanims, pushing into that is ridiculously difficult. But Vega, they've just managed to put themselves into such a good position that even that high ground defense team is just staring and going, welp, what do we do?
I mean, the 2 cores of Team Tinker still continue to farm fairly well. You've got 16k on the Medusa, 14.5k on your Storm Spirit, but it is 5,000 behind this Gyro. The Storm Spirit now has the Ultimate Orb and a Perseverance on his way to a Lincoln Sphere. Medusa, Black has got the Demon Edge, so almost certainly looking for that MKB to counter the Butterfly on this Gyro. So, I mean, maybe when they get the MKB and the Lincoln Sphere up, the high ground pushes are definitely going to be a little bit harder for Vega.
Yeah, but the big problem is they need to wait for the Aegis to be gone on the Gyro. Like, it is now, I guess, but that was the big thing. Like, you can't use your Echo into an Aegis, because then when he revives, you have nothing left in the tank, and I'm pretty sure he still has, 7-second BKB is not too bad. And the DK also has 8 seconds left on his as well. Solo hasn't even made a BKB. He's like, yeah, whatever. I don't need Magic Immunity. My team just carries me. It's no biggie.
Smoke up here from the Radiant. Oh, there we go. They're going to find Seema the Slayer, and Seema the Slayer, he will be Seema the Slayer. Oh, no, he won't. He does pop the mech. It's not going to be enough. They do find him. There's Qualifier. Fan manages to find out the Skyrath mage, and he finds the Enigma there as well. It's going to be a 2-hero streak there for the side of Team Tinker. And yeah, Jari gets himself out. But yeah, as you said, it was the Aghanim Scepter on your Enigma, as you were saying.
Yeah, I wasn't actually expecting him to go full Ags, because...
You never go full Ags?
It's just... Not an Enigma usually, at least not before BKB. Like as a fourth item or something, I totally get it because it's a huge amount of damage.
Paladai having a bit of fun there with the old dragon, and also on this lane,
Wait, he didn't even have wards. What was he doing there?
Mate, he's Paladai, don't question him.
I guess he was there with Qualifier trying to gank because Qualifier just TP'd out. But, I mean, this is kind of the story of the game though, right? Like they're fighting into no vision. When they fought top, they only had a ward on the high ground outside of their base. So when they were fighting, they actually saw nothing. They were only engaging out of desperation. And I feel like that's been a really key factor in this game for them.
Ooh, Bulba and Waitsu, they will find 9 Bashu heroes, and 9 Bashu found them with the Rocket Barrage. We'll spook them, Bulba. We'll get Nature's Geist. And they do manage to back themselves up out of that little engagement, but still 20-16. Vega, they're obviously just one tier 3 and a set of racks away from mega creeping the side of Team Tinker. And there's Qualifier, who's he going for? Nah, he's just zipping forward, clearing out the waves here.
Mag was there, but maybe he was expecting him to have TP'd away or something.
Satanic now on Yujara as well.
He can't die. This is like... Well, I guess there is an MKB on the Medusa. Maybe if Bashu somehow gets stone gazed, they might be able to kill him. Because the damage increase that you get is pretty high, but with 2600 health and 27 armor, I don't know, man. I don't know if Tinker are gonna have enough gas in the tank to defend. I guess anything's possible when you have Aghanims, Witch Doctor, and a Shaker, right? And Dusa. There's a lot of AoE teamfight utilities that Team Tinker just have not been able to utilize this entire game. Every single fight is usually like a 4v5 or a 3v5 because 1 or 2 people are dead when Vega are pushing in.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a real test of time when it comes to the next clash, and the next clash might come soon because, well, 9 Bashu, he's going to find himself a team here as Bulba is going to come in, but Echo Slam onto Illusions. Qualifier will continue with the Orchid onto Solo. Vortex and Fisher following up, bringing the Enigma down. The mech won't save him as he does get taken down by Qualifier. Bulba getting himself loads the Illusions that he Echo Slammed. I mean, they do find the Enigma, but it's all a little bit messy and a little bit sloppy there from Team Tinker.
When you echo Illusions and they don't even die.
Blink in from Mag. He's trying to find himself a fight for the Stone Gaze, and the damage from Black, they've taken him down, and 9 Bashu's been caught into the effects of Stone Gaze. Will pop the BKB, but the damage from Black with his MKB is nearly more than enough. He pops the Satanic 9 Bashu. Is not enough to keep him alive. 3 heroes are down on the side of the Dire. Now maybe even more. Qualifiers trying to find Seema the Slayer, but he hasn't got the mana to quite chase this one down. It looks like the Scarif will get away. But what a fight there for Team Tinker. The Stone Gaze was on point. Mag maybe a little bit ballsy with his blink in there, and they find Bashu on the Jara as well. A massive kill.
Yeah, one of the first times I think this game Mag has made a misplay. He just kind of went in, didn't really have that much vision around the area, which is very different comparative to what we're used to seeing. He usually has the Hawk out, he's got a ward nearby, he sees everything. And
Qualifier sees everything as well. Going on to Seema the Slayer here. The paralyzing cast bounces through once, and now with the Maledict's onto no one, can they go for this? They're going to pop down the Electric Vortex, but Qualifier a little bit lower mana. Now BKB is popped by the Dragon Knight. Qualifier gets himself out, and Paladai will be forced back. Looks like no one on the Dragon Knight doesn't want to chase this, so wants to get out, but the Fish is blocking him. Maybe they could go back for round 2. Blink forward from Bulba. Procs the passive there with the Enchant Totem, holding the Dragon Knight in place. Now comes Solo. Black Hole is going to catch 2. Bulba goes down. Dragon Knight now turns his attention to Storm Spirit, and a massive 2 kills there for the side of Vega, as a very nice Black Hole there comes in to turn that engagement around.
He even got the Midnight Pulse down before he got a Black Hole, so Qualifier was taking a ridiculous amount of damage while he was inside of that, because the Midnight Pulse from the Aghanims and the Midnight Pulse that you normally drop stack. So he just got obliterated. That was very nicely done there by Solo. One of the few times he's actually had a chance to shine this game, because the last time he got a nice Black Hole, Way2 immediately canceled it with an Overgrowth. So he got like a 3-man, I think it was, when they were mid, and then the Overgrowth came out, and then all of a sudden he was super sad. But I still think that Vega have a sizable lead here. Maybe if the Dusa is able to get one more item, maybe he gets his own Butterfly, then you're going to start seeing Team Tinker's lineup kind of come into this stage where the Dusa is strong enough to kind of just stand there and man fight against any amount of damage that comes his way. And when Team Tinker actually initiate fights, you can see the potential of what their lineup can do. It's just a matter of Vega has always been outmaneuvering them and always been able to get the jump when Team Tinker are trying to do stuff.
I mean, Dragon Knight, he has now got a Daedalus as well, so he's going to be able to be punching pretty damn hard alongside his buddy on the Gyro. Smoke up now from Team Tinker, and well, they're going to find Solo zipping in here. Qualifier with the Orchid, pulling him in, beating him down. Solo pops the mech, but he will go down there to the Soul Burn of the Orchid. Now the rest of the side of Vega, they're looking for Roshan. Can Team Tinker try and contest this? It's too late. Gyro will find the kill onto Roshan, and they do also pick up the Aegis yet again. And Way2 just blinks himself out. Paladai will back out as well. So they find the Enigma, but Vega, they do still find Rosh.
A little bit too little, too late on the Roche, which is not the best scenario for Team Tinker. In the perfect world, they just defend the Roche as well, and they force the rest of Vega back. They may not be able to kill it, but their game plan is just to try to buy time for Black to continue his own farm. He's got enough for buyback, but he needs a tremendous amount of gold before he gets his next item. And I think that he probably either goes straight up damage or he goes butterfly. So maybe he goes Daedalus, maybe he goes butterfly. Because there's no MKB up on the gyro, I don't think, yeah. He just has Satanic, BKB, Manta, Satanic. And I say just, but yeah, that's a lot of items.
It certainly is 24,000 in. I mean, about 5 minutes ago, there was a 5K difference between the Medusa and the gyro. Now it is just only 2, so Black is certainly catching up in that respect. But it's more of a question of whether this kind of catch-up is just coming a little bit too late for the side of Team Tinker, as they do still just obviously only have that last set of racks standing on their base.
It's not just about the net worth either, it's also the cheese on the DK and the Aegis on the gyro. Like, those two heroes both having multiple lives, even if you have a Medusa with a lot of farm, you can't take away from the fact that Vega's cores are both extremely tanky. Like 34 armor when he has AC Aura on Pashe Bashu, and then 38 armor on the Dragon Knight.
Gyro heading up to the high ground. He's going to start hitting away at the tier 3. Solo drops the Midnight Pulse, and then come the Manta-style illusions. They will get cleared up here by Black with a split shot. And Pashe Bashu will back up. The tower now very, very low here to the push, and this is before the Dragon form has come out from the Dragon Knight. He's still got that available when he wants to try and commit to clean up that final set of racks. They're just banging themselves up. Black on the high ground, looking for an opening. They do, of course, have the Echo Slam, Stone Gaze, Death Ward. Everything's up for both sides as well. Black Hole is also here for this push, and Black now heads up with the cooldown. The 9 Pashe Bashu will get caught out. Bulba, Echo Slam, and that, as you said, it's brought down the gyro, but it's Echo Slamming a gyro who has the Aegis. They're going to be back from round 2. Piloto gets Dragon Tail, Mystic Flare comes out, but he gets enforced out solo. Now with the Black Hole onto Black, but he gets cancelled by the Overgrowth here from Way 2. And now they're trying to turn and continue to fight with the Death Ward as well. They found 2. They're going to be able to maybe find the Dragon Knight. No, he eats the cheese. He's going to live. But look at this. The Gyrocopter trying to run out of the back of the fight. He's getting very, very low. No one. He's trying to fight against Black. Black first in the Dragon Knight. They both go down. There's a double kill here for the Dragon Knight. 2 heroes for 4 at the moment. Qualifier trying to find 9 Pashe Bashu, but 9 Pashe Bashu thinks about trying to find him. There is also a Treant around the Lincoln Sphere, will block the missile. Now zip forward from Qualifier, Way 2 blinks forward, in with the Leech Seed. Now the paralyzing cast. Can they bring down 9 Pashe Bashu? He's got a lot of damage. Will get pulled forward. Cooldown has come down. He's very low. He'll find the Storm Spirit. He finds Way 2 on the Treant, and now he turns to Pylite Die. Will he be able to find him? The Shadow Army, it's going to be enough. Pylite Die will live, but it's a double kill for the Gyrocopter. 9 Pashe Bashu managing to take down both the Storm Spirit and the Treant in a situation where it looked like Team Tinker had got him. Oh, Draskell.
What do you even say to that? Like, the fact that Team Tinker even have a base right now is astounding to me, but a very nice high ground defense. The 4-step from Bulba came in there huge, because Pylite Die actually got caught. I have no idea why he was standing so far forward. Like, he was standing at the top of the ramp, just, yo, what's up? There's a Dragon Knight in ult form like 2 feet away from me. Let me just walk up here. He gets stunned. He gets silenced immediately as well by the Skywrath. And then he turns and gets 4-staffed after the stun wears off. And Bulba pretty much saves his life. Otherwise, if Pylite Die had gone down there would have been no possible chance that they were going to defend that, because that Death Ward did a full channel Death Ward with Aghanims on their entire team. It just obliterated them with the combination of the Stone Gaze, the split shot from the Medusa as well, and Quake's initiation. So it turns out committing the Echo to 1 hero just to get the Aegis down ended up being the right call. Now, unfortunately, when they chased out, they got kind of owned by the gyro because they didn't have any MKB carrier, as Black didn't want to invest his buyback into that engagement, I guess. But yeah, good defense, I guess, by Tinker.
I mean, for the next defense, the next fight, Black has got the butterfly finished, but at the same time, a notable pickup there for Mag. He is just a Void Stone away from picking up the refreshers.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of terrifying. He has enough mana to use it as well, I guess. Necrobook's only 50 mana, so yeah, he's got everything he needs to be able to just lock down 2 people, double Necrobook for the push. The tower died again, by the way. So the biggest concern that Team Tinker have is their Rax is exposed, and that's Mega potential. Now, they do have Dusa, so they can defend against Megas.
Yes.
That's not really the issue. It's more a matter of Black, in the last engagement, he didn't have buyback, and he bought a full item. So if Vega decide to push in the next 4 minutes, 5 minutes, it's going to be very hard for Black to engage that without having his buyback.
Okay, Solo now on this Enigma. 3.1k gold. If you're going for Ags, What do you feel could be the next pickup here for the Enigma?
I really think he just buys BKB.
Yeah.
Like 10-second BKB at this point in the game with Aghanim's ulti is so powerful. And the Shaker can't stop you. The Witch Doctor can't stop you. It's only Overgrowth and the Medusa ulti. And even if you do it right, you could probably position yourself in a way to where you don't get stone gazed regardless. But I don't know, it's still tough. I think that Solo has had a hard game for being an Enigma, but his role has mainly just been dropping Midnight Pulse for pushes, having some conversions for a little bit of extra damage, and just kind of standing around waiting for a good opportunity to throw out a black hole. He could also just go like Refresher or something if he wants to be able to use just double conversion or double stun, maybe just Midnight Pulses everywhere. Because Midnight Pulse is crazy good late game.
They do stack, don't they? You can get essentially 4 Midnight Pulses down with the Aghanim's Refresher.
Yeah, I mean, that would be some serious clown Dota if that ever happened, but I guess you could.
27 to 25. I mean, we were seeing just there, the graphs, they are evening up in terms, I believe it was XP that Weppers brought up that was pretty much around the 0 point. Yeah, indeed.
Still a decent gold lead, though, for Vega.
Yes, but I mean, 47 minutes in, 14,000. It's not the biggest gold lead we've ever seen between the two sides. Mag here with the Necro units with the True Sight will find way to. There's your Roar into Mystic Flare. That's a big combo, and it's big enough to bring down the tree. And now, Qualifier trying to turn onto the Sky, but Seam of the Slayer pops the Ghost Scepter. Will be okay, and so will Qualifier as he zips himself back out of the engagement down the lane.
He needs to keep running. Mag's got a Refresher. He might. Okay, as Lincoln's, never mind. He can't actually break the Lincolns and roar him. He needs another person nearby.
I guess he can use the Necro unit with a Mana Bird.
Yeah, but it was not fast enough. Like he needs the Necrobook to be like on top of him when he does it. I guess he could refresh, Necrobook, Mana Burn, Roar, but that's really hard. And Qualifier also has Mana Regen, so he might have been able to disjoin it.
Here we go. Up to the high ground. Nine-Pashy Bashy wants it over his sake. An Echo slams to the face, and Black just stands there with the punches. Pilot dive with the Death Ward going through the BKB. Of course, Nine-Pashy Bashy getting himself low. Will go down. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far in this fight. And now your Black Hole onto Qualifier, onto Black, onto those two big cores. There goes Qualifier. Black, he's very low as well. He's out of mana. He's out of luck. He'll get a Roar to the face. Black goes down as well. Double kill for the Dragon Knight. Turns his attention now to the racks. He finds one. Black has brought back. Pops the Stone Gaze, trying to stop Vega's push here, but Vega, they just back off. Solo getting low to the Skadi. Blink 4 from Way2. Very nice overgrowth, but where's the follow-up? Way2 says, guys, where are you? Black is back at the base, trying to find the Dragon Knight, because Dragon Knight, he's trying to get the Mega Crease. Dragon Knight goes down. They also lose the Sky of Mage. It's only Solo now going back through the mid lane. Blink 4 from Way2 tries to find the lead seed, but the cast animation is not quick enough. Enigma will be able to blink away. Base is defended, but at still heavy cost though for the side of Team Tinker. They're just holding on to that last half of the racks, Draskell.
Everyone ditched the DK. They all ran away. They're like, yeah, whatever. You're fine, dude. You'll be able to get the racks on your own. No big deal. And then 3 heroes just run away from the DK after Black was like the only one in the team fight for quite a long time. But I think Vega are fine. They have buybacks on 2 of their cores. It's not as if Team Tinker can immediately push out all the lanes and then just be at Vega's doorstep and trying to force some kind of push, because they got tier 2s.
Qualifier.
Nice.
Well,
they get a kill.
That's the way.
But I really think this game for Tinker is becoming the territory where if you get Mega'd against what Vega have, you will get ratted to death by like bots Beastmaster. The other heroes on the side of Vega can just buy bots as well. Like Solo already has them. You just teleport into the base and just chip away at the tier 4s. Like one of them is already almost dead. It's looking pretty grim right now for Tinker here in game 1.
They're going to need something fantastic. And Medusa, what's Black looking like after he's picked up the old butterfly?
Well, he had to buy back, so
he did.
He's getting like no gold. Creeps give him 7 to 8 gold.
That's not a lot of money, Draskell.
Well, it's more than you used to get, but
that's true. That's true.
It's still not that much.
2k gold. I kind of feel like we're stepping into Rapier gaming territory.
Yeah, I think Rapier is probably the only choice. You could go Daedalus, I guess, but that might not even be enough damage. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't even know if they can win, to be frank. Like, Vega have done a fantastic job at controlling the pace of the game post like 15 to 18 minutes. That's really where they started to come online. Mag, I said he was my favorite player on this team for a reason. Him and Seema just dismantled Team Tinker this game. Just caught them everywhere. They get a tier 1. Okay, I say that. They get a tier 1 at 50 minutes in, when that was their safe lane tri-lane against just a Beastmaster. Like, that's how quickly things turned around. They went from like owning their lane, killing the DK twice, to we get ganked like 10 times in a row. Like actually 10 times in a row, losing all our towers and just having no control over the map anymore.
29 to 31. Team Tinker, they're still holding in there. They don't want to throw in the boot yet. They want to keep themselves in, but they're going to need, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to need, Josh. What are they going to need?
Well, for Tinker, you need buybacks on everyone first and foremost, and you need to try to engage before Vega get to your base.
Black's got himself a Demon Edge.
Yeah, it's going to be Rapier. It has to be.
Come on. And I believe, well, it will. I'd imagine this is going to be the first Rapier bought in competitive in 6.84 if he gets there. He's still got a little bit of a milestone to go past about, what, 2,000?
He's got a lot of ways to go.
2,700. It's not that much.
Yeah, but if you consider that all the lanes are pushed out and the only lanes that he can reliably farm have less gold because they're Rax lanes, yeah, it's going to take a little while. And that's assuming that Vega aren't going to be pressuring them, which looks like Roshan is going to be up any second now. And when it is, they're just going to run down a lane again. He won't get the time to farm it, I don't think. Not at this rate.
Okay, and Vega, they'll turn their attentions to the Roshan. They'll be able to get this one very quick and very easy. Gyrocopter, he's picked himself, he'll grab himself the Aegis, and he has dropped his boots. But I guess, of course, he has got the Flutter, and it's going to be worth using in the fights anyway, because Medusa does have an MKB, so who needs boots anyway on a Gyro? Nah,
the boots are a luxury item, let's be honest here. Yeah. Plus, you're in a freaking, like, you're in a gyrocopter. Like, you don't need boots if you're flying.
You don't put shoes on a plane, do you? Jeez.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Come on.
All right, so this gyro is obviously insanely stacked. Killing him is going to be an absolute nightmare. Black is like the last line of defense. They don't even have sentries down or anything, so they don't know if there's like a Shadow Blade, or they don't know if there's like an Invis Rune on somebody. They're just not really. I don't know if they're confident in being able to defend this push. I think this is where Vega just say, "You shall not pass," and then I guess that would be Team Tinker's line, wouldn't it? With base defense, "You shall not pass."
It will be.
Yeah. If they win the fight.
Whether they're going to be able to say it and it's actually going to be true here, because you're right. The push is coming in from Vega. They've got this Aegis on the gyro. Our Team Tinker are going to be able to hold the base. This is it. It's going to be now or never for this base defense from the side of Team Tinker. They need everything to go perfectly. They need a full duration Death Ward from Pylite Die. They need a 5-man Echo Slam. They need Black to catch them all in the Stone Gaze and start hammering away with the damage. It's a lot. But Team Tinker, can they do it? 9 Pashi Bashu with the cooldown. Fisher to hold the gyro back, and Zip form from Qualifier. Who's he looking for? He's looking for Mag. Silences up Mag. Echo Slam catches out Solo here on the Enigma. BKB popped by the Enigma. The Death Ward gets popped down. 9 Pashi Bashu taking a lot of damage. Qualifier trying to finish him off, and Black, he's going to be able to maybe bring down 9 Pashi Bashu down. No, he popped the Satanic, continues to fight. Stone-Gaze has come out. Black, he's out of mana. Blink forward from way 2. He's looking for the Oak Growth. Hasn't used it yet. They haven't brought down 9 Pashi Bashu. Is still alive. They've lost the Air Shaker on the side of Team Tinker. Now Pylite Die takes a Dragon Tail and an Arcane Bolt to the face. He goes down. Buyback straight away from the Witch Doctor, but he hasn't got the Death Ward to use again. Qualifier, what's he going to be able to do? He's had to back up to base to regen. They've lost the Rax. It is now Mega Creeps favoring the side of Vega. Gyro will get popped, loses the Aegis. But I mean, Team Tinker, they give it their all, but they're 2 heroes down, 2 heroes without buyback. Can they do anything else? Can they pull anything out of the bag? Quakefoot goes through, but he gets Ancient sealed up straight away. 9 Pashi Bashes there with the damage. Buyback now from Quakefoot. Mecha's being popped. They're looking for no one. No, he turns his attention to Mac. Mac though with the Raw onto Quakefoot. Black, he's getting taken down by 9 Pashi Bash. No one. There's going to be a solo Black Hole onto the Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit will fall. They've only got the Treant left alive. No buyback available on the rest of the side of Team Tinker. GG, well played is called. They gave it their all, Team Tinker, but Vega's draft, welcome to 6.84.
They outplayed them so badly this game. Like, during the laning phase, it's usually the team with the jungler loses the laning phase. It's pretty common knowledge, right? But you don't lose badly enough to where you think, okay, well, our game is going to go badly because our lanes just went so badly. But that DK got like smashed in middle lane, like double the CS on the Medusa for some time, got killed twice. And it really felt like for a while, Team Tinker just had all the right moves, you know? They were just making the good coordinated like ganks on the middle lane. They weren't losing anybody. And then Bulba died the first time. Then Mag got his ultimate. And as soon as he got his ult with the Skywrath, they smoked. They found a kill. They smoked again. They found another kill. I'm pretty sure they even found a 3rd kill onto Black when they smoked for the 3rd time. So they took all their smokes. They were all successful. And off the back of those important kills, and this was right after Quakefoot got his Orchid, he had like no impact for like 10 minutes straight. He just walked around with an Orchid in his inventory, died twice, got a Bloodstone at 25 minutes when his Orchid was at like 14. That's a very long time to farm a Bloodstone after an Orchid's already been picked up. And off the back of that, the rest of Vega just completely snowballed. Got all the towers, got like 3 or 4 Roshans in a row. I think it was 4. Yeah, because that was like a 55-minute game. So very well played.
Absolutely, and I know it's the honeymoon period, so I may be a little bit biased to saying 6.84 is exciting, but what I liked about that game was, you know, Vega, they managed to get ahead, and then there was some team fights for the side of Team Tinker that were favorable, but it was never like, oh, well, hang on, Team Tinker, they've just won a team fight, we're now back to square one. It always kind of felt like Team Tinker had to keep fighting, they had to keep up the pressure if they wanted to turn it fully around, and they weren't able to in the end, and Vega, a well-deserved win there. Game 1 going to the side of Team Vega. Myself and Draskell will be back with Game 2 very, very shortly. Don't go anywhere, though. We're going to run a few commercials, and then we're going to be over to our hosts for a little bit of analysis on the game at hand. So we'll catch you guys in a bit. See you in a second.